Let's talk about some different methods that we can use to record stills or capture stills from our processing sketches. First of all, for your upcoming project, one of the things I want you to do is to draw with processing and then save stills from it. And experiment with something like a bezier or a curve. All you need to know really is how many coordinates it takes, and then you could try, just kind of like we did with the color, where we took our RGBs and we put a mouse X in and a mouse Y and then mouse Y divided by 3 or things like that. We just kind of plopped in mouse X and mouse Y into the different coordinates. Try that out. So for example, I have a bezier here, and 2 of the coordinates are mouse X and mouse Y, and the rest are stable. And then I also put that fading rectangle on there, and my stroke has a little bit of opacity. So this gives me kind of some like interesting stills, and I can control the stills because I am drawing with this. So if I just did the basic save frame, that is going to be saving every single frame as it loops through. And that really slows down my program, and that might be more frames than I actually want. I'll stop this. And if we go up to Sketch, Show Sketch Folder, oh boy, it saved a lot of frames already. I only had that open for a few seconds because it loops through 60 times per second. All right, I'm going to delete all of those frames. So yep, it already made 132. So that's a little bit of a messy system. So other options could be to have the frames go within a folder, just like I did with creating video files. So I could have a folder called stills, and I will give it the 4 hashtags, and I'll make these TIFF files. Okay, so that would do the same thing, though. It's going to constantly be recording them. But it'll just go into a folder called stills. So that might be better. Okay, so as I am drawing, it is recording them all, and it does slow down the program. So now I want to go to Sketch, Show Sketch Folder. Here they are, and they're all in stills. But there's still hundreds of them. All right, so another thing I could do is I could specify a specific number and say record frame 100. I am going to clear out everything else here first. Okay, so now it's just going to record frame 100 when it gets there. Okay, it also stops. Sketch, Show Sketch Folder. And it recorded frame 100. So that could give me an individual one. But I'm going to jump ahead and show you a little bit of some more advanced code that I'll explain more as we get to it. But I'm going to write if MousePressed SaveFrame, and I'm not going to give any of this stuff. All right, so this is what I've just added here. If, and then in parentheses, MousePressed, open curly bracket, SaveFrame, closing curly bracket. So now this time, when I'm drawing, I'm drawing, I click and it saved a frame. Okay, I'm going to draw, I like this, I click, it saves that frame. I'm drawing, I like this, I click, it saves that frame. Okay, let's go to our sketch folder, show sketch folder, and here are the frames that it saved as I clicked. Now I only clicked 3 times, and it did save a few more, and that's because of, again, it's looping 60 times per second. So I just wasn't fast enough in my clicking. So it kind of, sometimes you can see these 3 look very similar. I must have held this one down for too long, so it managed to record 3 of them. So that's definitely a great way to kind of control the amount of stills that you save, and it doesn't lag the whole time because it's not saving frames the whole time. So again, this is the code that we have added. And so we have a new set of open and closing curly brackets within our draw. But the thing is, these are still pretty small file sizes. So in Photoshop, I want you to work and create your digital images 11 by 14 with a resolution of 250. So if you ever wanted to print these out, you could. So now if I opened up that still, show sketch folder, let's get to one of these. And if I say open with Photoshop, let's open it up in Photoshop. Okay, I'm going to select it, Control A, Control C. I'm going to put it into this one, Control V. It is tiny, all right? And I would need to remove the background. So it's tiny, and that's because this was recorded at my screen resolution of 72, and this has a resolution of 250, so it's going to be very, very small, which isn't necessarily bad. You just would need to create lots of these, or perhaps make your processing sketch larger. Don't make this larger in Photoshop. You can do a small amount, like this much maybe, but other than that, it's going to look pixelated when I view it at 100%, or if you ever try to print it out. So here's our other option. If you are okay with getting lots of really small stills from processing and bring it in, just use this method, the if MousePressed SaveFrame.